All right, let's jump right in. Today, our mission is a real deep dive into a fascinating observation record by digital transformation strategist Tommy Yoshida, also known by his Japanese name, Tsutomu Yoshida. His work on human-AI collaboration is honestly incredibly thought-provoking, and this entire explainer is dedicated to unpacking his thought process. We're going to look closely at the questions he raises in both the Japanese and international sections of his text, and our ultimate goal here is to really deepen our own contemplation about how we interact with technology.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts of his idea, I need to share the philosophical premise of Yoshida's notes. He explicitly states that this is not about evaluating AI. We're not here to give you a tutorial on how to use it or to rush to some hard, definitive conclusion. Actually, it's more like we're looking at a snapshot of a transitional era. As Yoshida puts it, these are unfinished thoughts and pending questions left exactly as they are. We're basically just observing that really delicate interaction between language, emerging tech, and human judgment during a time of massive change.
Okay, moving to Section 1, the Voice AI Paradox. So, to really understand this paradox, we have to ground ourselves in the context of July 2026. This is a time marked by absolutely incredible leaps in the voice features of AI models like ChatGPT and Claude. Conversations are becoming incredibly natural. And as voice interfaces reach this crazy level of fluidity, the overwhelming expectation from us, the users, is that interaction should be almost completely frictionless. We just want to speak and have the machine instantly understand and act, right? But that expectation creates a pretty huge problem. We're actually dealing with two completely different things that we constantly mistake for being the exact same. On one side, you have speech recognition accuracy, literally the AI's ability to perfectly transcribe the words coming out of your mouth. But on the other side, you have the user's intended meaning. As voice AI gets better and better at transcribing, it absolutely doesn't mean it magically understands what we truly intend to convey. Accuracy just does not equal intent.
Which brings us to Section 2, why Japanese needs this. Now, while this paradox of accuracy versus meaning affects all of us globally, Yoshida noted in the Japanese section of his research that it's uniquely amplified by the characteristics of the Japanese language. You see, Japanese is a language that frequently omits subjects entirely. It relies heavily on a huge volume of homophones, words that sound exactly the same but mean totally different things, plus it has a massive dependence on unstated context and uses highly nuanced honorifics, or keigo. Because of these very specific cultural and linguistic traits, flawlessly recognized text could be 100% correct on paper and yet completely miss the speaker's true intent. If the AI doesn't have that invisible context, a flawless transcription means, well, almost nothing.
All right, Section 3, the 0.5-step confirmation. So this brings us to Yoshida's proposed solution. And I love how he frames this. It's more of an inquisitive what-if rather than some rigid, definitive fix. What if we introduced a tiny pause in that frictionless experience? It's a beautifully simple architectural flow. Step 1, you give your voice input. Step 2, the system performs its speech recognition. But instead of jumping straight to Step 4, where the AI just blindly executes the command, we insert Step 3, the 0.5-step confirmation layer. It's this tiny, deliberate interruption in that supposedly frictionless expectation. It just holds the recognized text for a fraction of a moment before handing it over to ChatGPT or Claude.
To be absolutely clear here, Yoshida defines this 0.5-step confirmation layer as a lightweight optional checkpoint. This is not designed to be a heavy, cumbersome editing screen that bogs your workflow down. No way! It's completely detachable. The core principle is that users who prioritize pure speed, they can just turn it off. But for those who really need precision, who need to make absolutely sure their intent isn't lost in translation, they can keep it on as a super quick verification step before the AI actually does anything.
So what exactly happens in that fraction of a second? Basically, you're performing a lightning-fast visual check. You're looking for speech recognition errors, proper nouns, specific numbers and dates, and any of that contextual ambiguity we talked about. But most importantly, you are checking the intended meaning. It's just a quick pause to ask yourself, wait, is this exactly what I want to pass to the AI before it actually takes action?
Let's look at Section 4, Human-AI Collaboration.
While Yoshida's initial motivation stems pretty heavily from those local linguistic challenges in Japan, he expands this concept in the international section of his notes into a universal UX design philosophy. This is really about how humans and machines will work together on a global scale, and I absolutely love this quote from him. He says, "I don't see this as compensating for imperfect AI. I see it as designing better collaboration between humans and increasingly capable AI systems." That is a profound shift in perspective, isn't it?
This 0.5-second pause isn't born from distrusting the AI or assuming the tech is broken. Actually, it's the exact opposite. Because the AI is becoming so highly capable, we need to perfect the bridge between human thought and machine action. It's all about empowering the human to be a better collaborator.
And that brings us to Section 5, Beyond Chat, Physical AI.
You see, that collaboration becomes even more critical when we step beyond screen-based voice chatbots and move into the physical world. We're talking about the rapidly approaching era of AI agents and robotics, basically what Yoshida calls physical AI. Imagine you tell your home robot, turn off the air conditioner. Instead of acting immediately and, potentially turning off the AC in the baby's room by mistake, the AI offers a 0.5-step confirmation, turning off the living room air conditioner. That 1-second confirmation could massively improve trust, safety, and usability in our physical environments. It ensures the AI's understanding matches your actual unstated intent before it starts interacting with your physical space.
Yoshida makes a point to note that this is an evolving, unfinished design concept. He fully plans to continually refine it as AI technology advances. His future explorations are going to continue to look at the value of this layer for Japanese UX, the broader philosophy of human-AI collaboration, its applications in AI agents, and this really fascinating idea of detachable interface attachments for future intelligent systems. It's basically a conceptual framework that's designed to grow right alongside the AI itself.
Which brings us to the end of our deep dive into Yoshida's observation record. Once again, we're not here to declare this the ultimate perfect solution, but rather to just deepen our own contemplation of the problem. As our machines become more and more capable of acting on our spoken word, the line between what we say and what we actually mean is becoming the absolute most important frontier in design. So I want to leave you with this open-ended question to ponder. Would an optional 0.5-step confirmation layer improve the future of voice AI? Think about your own interactions with technology today and how a mere fraction of a second might fundamentally change everything tomorrow.